Good evening and welcome to SCTV3. I'm Sam Reed.
And I'm Nate Brown. Here are tonight's top stories. It's hard to believe that the summer is giving way to fall and that Family and Friends weekend has already come and gone. There is, however, one more well-known event taking place this weekend that will allow for students to reconnect with old classmates and former students to reconnect with old friends. That's right, homecoming weekend is upon us and there's plenty happening around the Springfield College campus, giving alumni the opportunity to come back home. This is the Office of Alumni Relations. Kind of. It's being infiltrated for the time being with massive amounts of signs, souvenirs, and to-do lists as the staff readies themselves for the return of so many Springfield College alums. With so many events taking place on campus, including Home Show, the legendary rope pull, and the second annual Cupcake Wars, it may seem as if there isn't any room to add a new tradition to the mix. However, the Student Alumni Association has put together the Taste of Homecoming.
After the home show on Friday night, patrons will come out of Lake Arena to find a Taste of Homecoming similar to a Taste of Springfield that you see at Stuyuka. We've pitched it as a fundraiser for our clubs and organizations. So we'll have, imagine caramel apples and hot cider and hot donuts and hot dogs and face painting and music provided by one of the WSCB disc jockeys. So we're hoping that will be a fun time Friday evening after the home show.
Regardless of the events, new or old, Lucy is looking forward to seeing so many alums return to SC, the place they can always call home.
And just seeing folks hugging and embracing that haven't seen each other in a year or 50 years. Seeing some of our really mature alums that haven't been back in 30 or 40 or 50 years. And the last time they were on campus, you know, the Living Center didn't exist, and Fuller Auditorium didn't exist, and the townhouses and the suites didn't exist, you know, never mind the Union or the Wellness Center. So it's just amazing to see everybody come home, and it truly is a family, and I'm reminded of that with all these events.
The events start tomorrow afternoon with a farmer's market at 11:30 a.m. in the morning.
Great, Nate. In 1891, an informal gymnastics team at Springfield College, which included faculty members Amos Alonzo Stagg, James Naismith, Frank Searley, and Luther Gulick, names sound familiar, traveled to New York City for a gymnastics exhibition with the 23rd Street YMCA. When the 1891 informal gymnastics team competed, it became the very first competitive group to represent Springfield College. Senior Allison Dombronsky decided to give back by cutting off 10 inches of her hair to donate to Locks for Love. Having no connection with the Cancer Society, Allison decided to get the haircut last weekend and donate it to those in need. Kudos to Allison and her acts of kindness. They truly go a long way and show that one person can really make a difference.
Patriots linebacker Brandon Spikes caused an internet uproar after tweeting out what some say was an offensive joke. Spikes says he was just joking around and didn't mean to offend anyone, but that's not how some of his followers took the tweet. He wrote, quote, "I'm homophobic just like in arachnophobic. I have nothing against homosexuals or spiders, but I'd still scream if I found one in my bathtub," end quote. While his play on the field has been much acclaimed, his tweet has received many mixed reactions from being homophobic to just being a joke. Spikes later tweeted, "People, it's just a joke. Seriously, a joke. Chill out." The Acapella Society is hosting a homecoming showcase tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. in the Fuller Arts Center. If anyone is interested in joining, auditions for the group will be held next Monday and Tuesday in the music department at 7 p.m. It's also a well-known tradition on campus that everyone attending home football games is expected to sing the Springfield College fight song, Show Me the Scotsman, following every Pride touchdown. Yet there have been plenty of quiet games lately, and not due to the lack of offense for Springfield. With that in mind, there's a new group on campus that's helping to bring back the music. If you happen to stop by the townhouses on a Sunday or Monday night, you may run into something very unfamiliar: the Springfield College A Cappella Society rehearsing for their upcoming concert.
I was involved in an a cappella group at my undergraduate, and when I got here as a graduate, I thought it would be a good thing for campus. So I linked up with Adam Sickler and Katie Patrick. We ran auditions, and 40 people showed up. So it's pretty cool.
I joined a cappella because in high school I was a musical theater person. I did all kinds of productions and the chorus and stuff like that. So I was looking for a musical outlet when I came to Springfield, and it just showed up.
The A Cappella Society, now in its second year, is comprised of a men's, women's, and co-ed group. All of the groups sing a wide variety of songs and have given the students an opportunity to grow musically.
Well, individually I feel like I've grown a lot in my ability to sing and also my ability to listen to music, but also everybody else has really gelled together, and we're really growing together as a group, which is really nice to see. I definitely think we got a lot to bring to the table this year.
Well, I think in terms of what the students are bringing to the groups, this year there's a lot more leadership. Students, it's been their goal this year to start creating the music themselves. I used to create it for them, so they've been doing that, and they've been doing a good job with it. They have a lot of musical ideas. I think that they're very talented students.
Eat late, even great. Sound familiar? The fast food company Wendy's is getting its icon makeover. Those red pigtails you see on top of Wendy's head have been claimed to be too childlike, and they will soon change. The reasoning behind this is the new and improved Wendy's icon is the renovation of the newer hopes of the fast food chain becoming more of a high-end cafe. And now we're going to send it over to our very own Bree Hill with the weather. Take it away, Bree.
Thanks, Sam. Here's a recap on today's weather. It was mostly sunny with a high of 59. Looking to our 5-day forecast, we can expect AM clouds tomorrow, turning into mostly sunny with a high of 54, and maintaining the sun for a beautiful alumni weekend with a high of 56 on Saturday. A few showers approach us on Sunday with a higher temperature of upper 60s, and the rain continues through Monday with highs rising to the lower 70s, and then dropping back down to a high of only 60 on Tuesday, clearing up for a partly cloudy day. That's your weather. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bree. The family of a Pakistani teen activist who survived an assassination attempt at the hands of the Taliban is counting on the prayers of the nation to help her recover, her uncle says. Malala Yousafzai, 14, remains in critical condition a day after surgeons removed a bullet lodged in her neck. Taliban militants shot Malala and 2 other girls Tuesday as the girls headed to their homes. The reasoning behind the men's actions were those of her teenage bloodage. Malala spoke out in her blog about wanting an education, privacy for her teenage life, and freedom as a woman. Because she chose to blog about this, she almost died. And now here's Mark with sports.
Good evening. On tonight's show, we will have an insight on the controversial calls that took place these past couple of weeks. NFL Week 6 predictions, an update on Springfield College sports, and the football team sets the stage for Alumni Weekend. Previously, the NFL had its moments of questionability with the replacement officials, but now the spotlight is on the umpires in the MLB playoffs. Our own Alex Thomas gives his judgment on which call was worse.
Even though it's only the middle of the month of October, professional sports has already seen multiple controversial calls during the fall portion of its play. It all started with the NFL's usage of replacement referees for the first 3 weeks of the season, which was highlighted by the controversial call at the end of the Green Bay-Seattle game on a Monday night. Seattle's quarterback Russell Wilson threw up a Hail Mary as time expired, and it was intercepted by the Green Bay defender, but ruled a simultaneous catch and a touchdown for Seahawks wideout Golden Tate. Green Bay has struggled since then, while the Seahawks are also hovering around 500, but it changed the landscape of the season for both those teams. Fast forward to this past Friday night, when the first ever NL wildcard play-in game occurred in Atlanta between the Cardinals and Braves. With runners on first and second, late in the game, the Braves trying to rally, a pop-up was hit to short left field. However, it was ruled that it was an infield fly rule by the left field umpire, who's only there for playoff games. It ended up resulting in an out, and even though the next batter...
Week 5 of the NFL was full of eventful games. Let's check out what Barry Bois has to say with his Week 6 picks.
Hi, I'm Barry Bois, and here are my Week 6 picks. The first game that I'm going to pick is the New York Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm picking the Niners to win just because I think that, they're a better team and a complete team, and, they're playing really well in all phases of the game, and they're just gelling at the right time. So I believe that they're going to win this game. The next game that I'm going to pick is the Green Bay Packers versus the Houston Texans, and I think that the Texans are going to win just because for the same reasons. They're, a better team. Green Bay's in, trouble right now, and they're going into a hostile environment, and Houston's just clicking on all cylinders, and yeah, that's why I believe Houston's going to win. My final game will be between the Denver Broncos and the San Diego Chargers, and I think the Broncos are going to win that game because I think they're going to bounce back from last week and play well on the road and get a win against a divisional opponent.
Women's volleyball has been dominant this season, and Moira Long's team continued the successful play this weekend, defeating Colby Sawyer College, Mount Clair State University, and Plymouth State University in a dominating 3-game fashion. They will look to keep the train moving to retain the new MAC crown. Women's tennis defeated Clark University 5-4. In the result, senior Erin Woodbury won both of her singles and doubles matches. After a strong play all weekend, the golf team won the NECC championship and will compete for a national championship in the spring. Field hockey's junior Kelly Gallo was named New MAC Field Hockey Offensive Player of the Week. Men's and women's soccer continues to build their success, specifically the men's team after defeating Westfield State University 1-0. Men's cross country placed 17th in the New England Championship, and women's cross country closed out their season at the same setting. Alumni Weekend is a chance to reminisce with the graduates of Springfield College's pastime. Why not around some football? The football team will go toe-to-toe with Merchant Marine Academy. Candace Tibbetts has more on the expectations and a preview of this weekend.
This week we have Merchant Marine on Saturday, homecoming weekend. Big game. We're both coming in 3-3 record. So, this conference game, the winner of this game takes that extra spot up, and that's what we're trying to do this week. Last week we had a tough loss against Hobart in the nation. We could have won, but there's a lot of missed opportunities. And this week it's big. Freshmen playing homecoming weekend, alumni is watching you from the stands. It's definitely big. It's definitely a lot of pressure, but with the help of my teammates and help of my coaches, I can definitely get it done this week.
For this Saturday's homecoming game, Springfield Pride will be taking on the Merchant Marine Academy, who are led by head coach Mike Toop. They are coming to Springfield with a 3-3 record after a victory in their last game against Rensselaer. Senior quarterback Alex Cavalleo has 241 passing yards overall, 60 yards per game with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this season. Running back John Leon Goslin leads the team with 524 rushing yards, 87 yards per game, and 8 touchdowns overall. Junior defensive back Tyler Washington leads the defense with 34 solo tackles, 12 assists, and 1 interception. The team averages 376 total yards, 75 in passing, and 300 in rushing. They average 27 points per game.
I can't stress this game enough. It's probably one of the biggest games of the season. This game is going to determine whether or not our season is going to continue. If we lose, then chances of playoffs are not really likely. But if we win, we could have a bowl game. And we just have to continue one year at a time to get it done.
This Saturday's matchup will decide who will be 5th in the Liberty League division, with both teams being tied with a 3-3 record. This will be a close and exciting game. Stay tuned.
Let's hope all of our teams continue their success. Well, that's all for sports, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Mark, and that's all for us here at SCTV3. Thanks for tuning in, and join us next week. I'm Sam Reed.
And I'm Nate Brown. Have a good night, everybody.